Òyìnbó ṣe pencil, mo ṣe razor. Mosquito na malaria. You will never ever, wait, let me take my glasses off.
Please.
You will never ever, this camera, you will never ever hear a song about mosquito sweeter than that one. I dare you find one. Maintain, hats off to you.
Yeah, man. Maintain were one of the best musicians back then, man. They had this culture of remixing songs, but we didn't care. We liked all their songs. From their very first song, the one they were singing about their Bitu.
Timbo Balawa Gbelo, mi o ma le ti moto. Timbo Balawa Gbelo, mi o ma le ti moto. Shomo lawa walo, kazako yuka loke. Timbo Balawa Gbelo, mi o ma le ti moto. Shomo lawa walo, kazako yuka loke. Shomo lawa walo. You know why I'm laughing? Please just go back and find that video. You've never seen a Beetle that. So for some reason they were on. By the way, Volkswagen Beetles are very reliable vehicles.
Yeah.
For some reason, they had caught them on a bad day and they were on the way somewhere.
Yes.
And they had to push for a long time. Back in the day, if you push, you have to look for people in the area to push for you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what the whole song was about. They went to look for a girl and their car broke down on the way.
Essentially, that was what happened. It was really funny.
It was
Maintain did a lot of songs on stories.
Yeah, most of their songs were story based.
Yeah, because they just tell people things that happened to them.
Just Alo Alo.
Yeah.
Alo literally is what you say when you want to tell a story.
Yeah, like you want to tell a story.
Alo Alo.
Alo.
So what they did was chronicle Nigeria's democratic journey.
Yeah.
Up until that time when they did the song,
which is
I wish they'll do a remix.
Yes.
Like they have a lot more to say.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, we're not going to find a remix of that song, because that song was something that was very classic. Mind you, Maintain were not Lagosians. They were not Lagos artists.
Yeah,
they were from Ibadan. Yeah, and the fact that they could crack into the Lagos market, let's say because Kenny's music had
the Lagos market was wide open.
Yeah, it was.
The Lagos market was wide open, and Kenny's music at the time Maintain came out, we're still trying to find their footing.
Yeah.
A key part of Maintain was, and now I'm getting a little confused if it was their producer, if it was their chaperone, if it was their bouncer, their manager. He was Big Bamo. That guy was a delightful personality too. In all their videos.
I feel Bamo, without Bamo, Maintain would have been successful. Because he was out there.
I think he successfully held Olu and Tolu.
Together, the glue that held that group together.
He was a delightful personality.
He was really wonderful to be.
Is he dead?
No, he is. Sorry. Well, I don't know, but
he is
a wonderful personality. Yeah.
Sorry, Bamo.
Please. Not my fault, please. So Bamo was somebody that was very wonderful in what he did, man. He kept those two together. Remember the song they did about Tolu's birthday?
I got cold. Achoo!
That came from the remix of Ludacris's song.
I got
cold in area codes.
Okay, it's cold.
Yeah.
I thought it was that farming instruments. He has farming instruments in different area codes.
So that song came from Ludacris's song Area Codes. That was where Maintain did that song, and apparently it was true story.
Bamo isha eti o ba damu bamo afi pe Roger Trump kan lo sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú vocoder effect. I got go. I ṣe party 1-4 I got go. Yoruba. I ṣe party 1-4.
Was it Tolu that did the birthday of Maintain? Or Olu?
Olu did the birthday.
Olu did the birthday, and he invited his friends, and you know how it is as a player that time now.
I don't know.
You don't know.
We know how players are. That's like I'm the specialist, in-house specialist on player behavior.
So he invited virtually all his girls, which were his girlfriends. As in, and you know how it is.
Man,
You
I
have to
remember
keep
the
this
video.
one.
They kept
Yes.
walking in
Yeah.
girl after
To speed me. Kajo, Kofu, Kari, Bola, my catch, go, one for. Atos, Karo, Kajo, Ayo, Kari, Demi, one marry, Kemi, I hold, Ebun.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, that's a lot
So,
of girls.
we invited all of them. He kept this one, he kept that one, and we kept prophesying love for this one. You marry this one, you love this one.
All at one party.
And
Very adventurous. My favorite part of that video where the two girls are there, next thing you know, they slapped him, they pop,
they were slapping him in rotation, slapping him.
Why not right here? Oja.
Slapping him, doesn't say that song, and that song showed us a clip on the birthday.
Na Sunday, Tolu Jeje, na him she birthday, DJ na Jimmy, enough FEZ, our boys, organizing, GS. Obìnrin ṣeré, obìnrin delegate gbogbo ẹ̀. Pẹ̀lẹ́, Yoruba, a ṣe party.
Because you had Sound Sultan there, you had the Black Rebels,
celebrities
you had
came in.
Yeah, you had Julius Agru, you had
many
many celebrities were there, but Jazz Band of Love,
the who is who in the Nigerian music
were in that birthday, and it was
Comedians
really big. And it was really nice that they turned it to a song to make it very good. And then after that one, they got to an Indian song.
Don't started like this. It was too lyric.
Yo, maintain life in India. India is where it's going down. You understand? Feel the groove, you know? Big Bamo, tolu, everybody. Go bounce. Are you ready? Yeah, Mr. Morris. Let's blast, you know?
It started like this. Jeje we did for studio at Surulere. We won't record, and so therefore, by mistake, Tolu press play. Waiting be this, I trip, I wake. Sounds like Indian music.
That's it. We did. For Surulere.
By mistake, Tolu
Press play.
Waiting with this, I trip, I feel. Sounds like Indian music. They brought this Indian production.
By the way, at that time, it was in vogue to do Indian music.
Yes, that's what I was
There was
about to
a
say.
lot of Indian. Julius Agro had a song called Sunita as well.
Yeah.
Called at that time.
And it wasn't just Nigeria, even abroad, a lot of people did a lot of sound in Indian rap. Yes,
was doing a lot of beats at the
so
time.
they took advantage of it, and it was a very big hit, man. And Maintain really cemented their place as one of the best artists back then in Nigeria.
Yeah,
because there was no way you had a show that you couldn't put
to call Maintain now.
Because
Tolu.
Not just that, because they sang in Yoruba. Yeah, Lagos was Yoruba land. So.
And the music was quite appealing. It had a comic factor to it.
Exactly.
They were good at, and if you are good at telling a story with your music, you will hardly fail. You hardly fail.
Like the video Alo, go watch that video Alo. Like they were talking about the politics of Nigeria from 1960, and the pattern of the video was a football match. Now, in that football match, OBJ was the captain of this side, Abacha was the captain.
Oh my God!
On the other side, and the military was winning till OBJ came in. I remember when one of the players got injured. They said that was Abiola. And then Abiola died, so they did Abiola bye-bye, and OBJ won the match 3-2.
Yeah.
So virtually all their songs were things that made you laugh all the time.
And they told good stories. A key part of the success that Maintain had, which many people don't realize, is the fact that for a lot of the songs that they had, the master producer, songwriter, musician, Kobams was producer.
Yeah, because I had his voice in the Indian song.
Yes, the Indian song. He did Catch Cold, and he did, if I'm not making a mistake, he did Nibo Lawa.
Man, Kobams was a genius, man. The guy
so of course, if you compare the quality of his production then and now, there's a huge distance. But at the time, it was a big deal. So you know that Kobams was tip top in every single era we found.
Hats off to you, Kobams Asuko. You were
still don't believe you can't see. You can't convince me that man.
I don't think so, man. I think that man, he can really see.
Kobams Asuko. Pun intended, I see you when I see you.
So Maintain was really something, man. They were one of the best. They were together with Plantation Boys.
And then, of course, they went on to they did collaborations with JJC and the 419 Squad when they were looking for a wife.
Yeah, Obasanjo, Gastella, when they were calling celebrities with their wives and everything. And because they were single and they were looking for women to really, spice up. So you know how it is.
So all the girls in Lagos were not enough for them.
Yeah, no,
Superstars.
that's why they were calling the big men now so that they can introduce their daughter.
That's a good move. Well done. Well done, Maintain.
So Maintain really did so well, team. What do you think really caused their separation?
I think I don't think anything really happened. Unlike a bunch of the other groups and partners that broke up or went their separate ways. Maintain, I think, had the least drama with their separation.
Yeah,
you didn't hear any story about Tolu. Tolu went quiet, and the story was that Tolu was it was an SS. Yeah, it was the skinnier one.
Yeah,
so you know
the one with the big eyes.
No, that was Olu.
Olu was the one with the big eyes. Was it Tolu? Man, those guys.
Tolu was a slimmer one. Olu Maintain is the one that went on, of course, to do Yahoo and everything else.
Yeah,
so Tolu, of course, went quiet. I think he had to focus on other areas of life.
At the time, I heard he was into banking.
Yeah, they must have been paying him a lot of money.
Probably for him to have ditched the music.
He didn't know how much money music industry was
making. Back then, you know, it wasn't that much. There was anybody that was making so much money.
Oh, he could have just waited a year or two more.
Yeah, if he knew.
1 or 2 more years. Olu Maintain alone. Did you see that Hummer Jeep in Yahoo?
Boys, kamikaze on the control level. Yahoo,
just the Hummer Jeep, other cars that were there, and how sparkling that video was.
Man, DJ T did that video. Wow. Woo! If you were doing videos back in the day, you had to go to one of a few people. It had to be DJ T. Initially, it had to be Uzodinma Okwechi. Then, of course, it had to be DJ T. Somewhere along the line, no one else got into the mix. Did a few here and there. There were a few. There was Mex. Before, of course, all them Chesson and Clarence Peters, they was much later.
Those were children compared to DJ T. If you need a crystal clear video that time, this was DJ T.
There's an Alabi, Akin Alabi.
Yeah, I know that guy too.
I Komole. I'm sorry, I digress.
Yeah, so that's it, man. The Yahoo video was something that really showed people that Nigeria could shoot videos.
I was impressed with how Olu Maintain moved on from being he and Tolu to being a solo artist. It took a while.
It took a while, but he had to do something, man. Probably the industry was really taking shape, and he had to be part of what was coming.
My favorite song on that album was Ale,
Ale. Yeah, that's a nice song. That's a nice song.
Yahoo was too noisy. He kept shouting on the
mic. It was, but
because I don't support internet fraud.
No, we don't. But that time, nobody even knew what he was singing about. Well, Yahoo,
you didn't know?
We look. We just
you were innocent.
We thought it was an act. No, we thought it was an act.
And then you didn't.
We didn't.
Let me not taint your innocence. Let's maintain the illusion.
So we thought it was an act, and because of how crystal clear the video was,
the cars,
the music,
the club
video, yeah, the club.
Enough easy. Take them easy. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Everybody, I say enough easy. Take them easy. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. La 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 la.
So you see, that's how like, man, this guy has a lot of money. And back then, you know, we didn't know music was illusion, man. We thought that whatever we saw on TV was how they were.
And don't forget, having a Hummer was the main sign of success.
Damn,
but as we talk about Maintain, what part of what we have said excites you? What parts do you remember that we haven't spoken of? Let us know, and let us know which other artists or musician that you want us to talk about from back in the day that you'd like to hear from us.
So thank you very much. I would like you to subscribe to our page, follow, like, comment, share every content that we go through, and believe me, we'll give you a follow back. We'll also comment on your
Yes,
posts.
indeed. In order to maintain your connection with Memoree Lane. Peace.